Game 3 is upon us, and the series between the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics has shifted to Madison Square Garden. With the Knicks holding a commanding 2-0 lead, the Celtics face the critical challenge of reclaiming control. In this high-pressure matchup, both teams will have to adjust their strategies, focusing on their strengths while addressing weaknesses that have surfaced throughout the first two games. The war rooms are buzzing and both coaching staffs are putting together detailed plans for the next pivotal showdown. Welcome to Jintatski Sports, your spot for all things sports. From legendary moments and big-time plays to inspiring stories and deep dives, we bring you the content that keeps the game alive. If you love sports as much as we do, hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. The Celtics are on the brink. Down 2-0, they return to the Garden facing their first real challenge of the playoffs. The team has the talent, but it's their ability to execute when it matters that's been questioned in this series. Game 3 is a must-win, and their war room strategy will need to focus on tightening up key areas to flip the momentum back in their favor. The Celtics' greatest asset is their top-tier talent. Jayson Tatum, while not at his best so far, is still one of the most dangerous players in the league. Jaylen Brown has been consistent, contributing efficiently on both ends of the floor. Their defense is also a key strength. When they're locked in, Boston's defensive rotations are elite, and they're capable of suffocating opposing offenses with their length and switching ability. Derrick White has proven himself to be an invaluable piece, providing both scoring and defensive versatility. Boston's most glaring weakness right now is their inability to close games. The Celtics have struggled in the final minutes of both contests, with turnovers, poor shot selection, and a lack of offensive flow. They've been far too reliant on isolations with Tatum, which the Knicks have adjusted to. Their inability to execute offensively under pressure has been a major issue. Additionally, while Porzingis has the potential to stretch the floor, he's been inconsistent, and his health remains a concern after missing time due to illness. Boston's primary opportunity lies in breaking the Knicks' defensive rhythm. If the Celtics can force the Knicks into uncomfortable matchups, particularly on the perimeter, they can exploit the Knicks' weaknesses in terms of their defensive communication. With better ball movement, Boston can create open looks for shooters like White, Horford, and Tatum. A strong start would also benefit them tremendously. If they can build an early lead and maintain their intensity throughout the game, they can regain control of the series. The Knicks' fearsome ability to come back from large deficits is the biggest threat to Boston. The Celtics must come out with energy, especially early on, to avoid another slow start. New York has shown time and again that they can turn games around with quick bursts of offense and clutch plays down the stretch. Additionally, Boston needs to find a way to limit the Knicks' transition offense and second-chance opportunities, which have been key to New York's success in the first two games. Boston's focus for Game 3 is simple. They need to execute, and they need to do it fast. Their early strategy will be to come out with energy, applying pressure on the Knicks and setting the tone for the game. They cannot afford another slow start. Offensively, Boston should look to establish their shooting early, especially from beyond the arc. Tatum and Brown should look to get into open spaces and move without the ball to create easier opportunities. The Celtics coaching staff will also likely draw up plays to free Tatum up for catch-and-shoot looks, avoiding the isolation-heavy style that has stunted their flow in the last two games. Defensively, Boston will focus on tightening up their perimeter defense. If they can challenge the Knicks' shooters and disrupt their ball movement, they'll force New York into tough shots. Protecting the paint is critical as well. Stopping Towns and Robinson from getting easy buckets inside will force the Knicks into a more one-dimensional offense. Additionally, Porzingis needs to be more involved defensively, especially in pick-and-pop situations, and the Celtics will need to utilize his size and versatility to stretch the floor and pull the Knicks' defense out of position. The New York Knicks are riding high after their remarkable back-to-back comebacks in Boston. With their backs against the wall, The Celtics will need to bring a new level of intensity to avoid falling into a 3-0 hole. From New York's perspective, confidence is at an all-time high, and they know that they can capitalize on the Celtics' recent late-game struggles. The Knicks' biggest strength right now is their mental resilience. They've shown that they can weather any storm, come back from significant deficits, and execute under pressure. In addition, their depth has been a revelation, with contributions coming from every corner of the roster. Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson have been dominant throughout the series, while Mikal Bridges has proven himself as a clutch player in the closing moments of both games. Their defense has been opportunistic, with Mitchell Robinson locking down the paint, while Josh Hart's grit and hustle have been contagious. While the Knicks have shown flashes of brilliance, they've also struggled at times with consistency. They were sluggish in the early minutes of both games, unable to match Boston's energy. The first quarter struggles have led to deficits they've had to dig out of, and against a team like the Celtics, that's not a sustainable strategy. If they fall behind early in Game 3, they may not have the luxury of a late-game rally on the road. The biggest opportunity for the Knicks in Game 3 lies in capitalizing on Boston's lack of composure in crunch time. The Celtics have faltered down the stretch in both games, and if New York can keep it close heading into the final quarter, they have the personnel to finish strong. With the Garden behind them, the energy will be electric, and they can use that to fuel another strong second-half performance. The Celtics are a wounded animal right now, and they will come out with a vengeance in Game 3. Jayson Tatum, in particular, is unlikely to have another poor shooting night like he did in Game 2. New York cannot afford to overlook the Celtics' explosive potential, especially if their shooters start finding their rhythm again. Boston's defense, when locked in, is one of the toughest in the league, and if they can stifle the Knicks' ball movement, it could disrupt their offensive flow. Heading into Game 3, the Knicks must keep doing what's worked. They need to stay patient, work through their offense, and not get caught up in the Celtics' early energy. The Knicks will look to exploit Boston's defensive lapses by focusing on ball movement, getting Towns in the post, and allowing Brunson to facilitate in pick-and-roll situations. While Boston will likely adjust their defensive strategy to get more pressure on Brunson, New York can counter by using him off the ball more, opening up the floor for others to step up. Defensively, the Knicks will focus on limiting Tatum and Brown's driving lanes. This means keeping a body on them at all times, especially in transition. They'll also look to keep the pressure on Boston shooters, particularly from three-point range. By forcing the Celtics to play one-on-one basketball in the half-court, New York will look to take advantage of their more cohesive team defense. Offensively, New York needs to remain patient. They should continue to work the clock, get the ball into the hands of their playmakers in favorable positions, and take advantage of mismatches when they arise. Keeping the ball moving will disrupt Boston's defense and open up opportunities for easy scores. Game 3 promises to be the most crucial game of the series. For the Knicks, the objective is to maintain the same level of poise and composure they've shown in the first 2 games. If they can take the Celtics' best shot and still execute their game plan, they have a real chance to go up 3-0. For the Celtics, this game represents the point of no return. The adjustments need to be swift, but they also need to remain true to the strengths that got them here. Elite defense, explosive offense, and strong leadership from their stars. How both teams handle the pressure will decide not only the outcome of Game 3, but also the future of the series. Thanks for watching Jintatski Sports. If that video hit home or gave you something to think about, drop a like and let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that bring the heart of sports to life. Until next time, stay inspired and keep chasing greatness.